Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Wednesday, February 16, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the Olympic action from last night, look ahead to tonight and tomorrow. College basketball, NBA, NHL recap last night, look ahead to tomorrow. News and notes and best bet. We're going to try to be quick here today. We'll start with the Olympics. We'll go over everything from yesterday in Beijing and look ahead to everything going on today in Beijing. So, yesterday in Beijing, alpine skiing, men's slalom run 2, the bronze going to Sebastian Foss Solvang of Norway, the silver going to Johannes Strolls of Austria, and the gold going to Clement Noel in France. Biathlon, women's 4x6 relay, bronze Germany, silver ROC, gold Sweden. The bobsleigh, the 2 women, the 4-man official trainings, men's 1 and 2, women's 3 and 4 done. Cross-country skiing, the team sprint classic final, women's bronze going to ROC, silver going to Sweden, gold going to Germany. Men's bronze ROC, silver Finland, gold Norway. Curling, women's round robin session 10, Canada over US 7-6, Switzerland over Korea 8-4, China over Great Britain 8-4, round robin 11 for the men's. China over Switzerland 6-5, Great Britain over ROC 8-6, Italy over Denmark 10-3. Women's round robin session 11 in progress. Korea and Denmark are playing. Denmark's up 6-5. Japan over US 7-3. ROC over Sweden 5-4, and Canada over China 8-7. Freestyle skiing, men's free ski slopestyle final run 3, bronze going to Jesper Charter of Sweden, silver going to Nicholas Goper of USA, and the gold going to Alexander Hall of USA. Men's aerials final 2, bronze going to Ilya Barov of ROC, silver going to Alexander Ombrenko of Ukraine, and the gold going to Guangpu Qi of China. Hockey going on. So you had the men's playoff quarterfinal. Slovakia came back to beat USA 3-2. ROC over Denmark 3-1. Finland over Switzerland 5-1. And currently in progress right now is Sweden and Canada. That's a good one. And then the bronze medal game for the women, Finland over Switzerland 4-0. Nordic Combine, the Gunderson Large Hill 10 kilometer official training 4 finished. Short track speed skating, the men's 5,000 relay final A. The bronze Italy, silver going to Korea, gold going to Canada. And the women's 1,500 meter final A. The bronze going to Suzanne Schulting of the Netherlands, silver going to Ariana Fontana of Italy, and the gold going to Minjung Choi of Korea. All right, now we look ahead to today in Beijing, or I should say what's going to be today in Beijing, and tomorrow here. Alpine skiing, the women's alpine combined slalom. Gold medal events going on tonight. The bobsleigh, the 4-men official training heat and 4, and the 2-women official training heat 5 and 6. We have curling. We have men's round robin session 12, women's round robin session 12, and then the men's semifinal, which is going to be 8 o'clock at night out in Beijing tomorrow. Figure skating, we have the women's single skating, free skating gold medal event, which is going to be at 5 a.m. in Beijing, which is going to be 4 o'clock in the afternoon here. Freestyle skiing, we have the women's ski cross big final. Ice hockey, we have the gold medal game between Canada and the U.S., which is going to be at noon there, 11 o'clock at night here. So a big game for U.S. tonight. The Nordic Combine, the Team Gunderson Large Hill 4x5 kilometer cross country gold medal event. And speed skating, the women's 1,000 meter gold medal event going tonight as well. All right, college basketball, we'll do a quick recap of the games from yesterday, and we'll look ahead to tonight's games. I just did sides, not totals today. Longwood over High Point 70-66. Western Michigan over Akron 71-57 in overtime. Kent State over Toledo 72-59. Penn State over number 19 Michigan State 62-58. Number 9 Duke over Wake Forest 76-74. Number 20 Texas over Oklahoma 80-78 in overtime. Merrimack over Sacred Heart 70-63. Memphis over Cincinnati 81-74. Iona over St. Peter's 70-61. Hopestra over Line 97-64. Tulane over South Florida 76-57. Florida State over Clemson 81-80. VCU over Fordham 66-51. North Florida over Liberty 72-69. Northern Illinois over Ball State 64-58. Eastern Michigan over Central Michigan 75-70. Ohio over Miami of Ohio 91-78. Buffalo over Bowling Green 112-85. South Carolina over Ole Miss 77-74 in overtime on a buzzer beater shot by James Reeves the fifth. Texas A&M over Florida 56-55. Number 10 Villanova over number 8 Providence 89-84. Portland over Bushnell 84-39. NC State over Georgia Tech 76-61. Northern Iowa over Illinois State 72-70. Southern Illinois over Bradley 65-57. Missouri State over Indiana State 79-70. Number 18 Ohio State over Minnesota 70-45. Number 16 Tennessee over number 4 Kentucky 76-63. Number 15 in Wisconsin over Indiana 74-69. New Mexico over number 22 Wyoming 75-66. Number 23 Arkansas over Missouri 76-57. Colorado over Oregon State 90-64. Butler over DePaul 73-71. Iowa State over TCU 54-51. UC Irvine over UC San Diego 56-50. San Diego State over Utah State 75-56. And Nevada over San Jose State 81-72. All right, now we look ahead to today at 1 o'clock. We have Manhattan and Fairfield. My projections: Fairfield by 6, and it is. Let's see, Fairfield as a 5.5 point favorite. Totals 135.5 over. 6 o'clock, Colgate Army. My projections: Colgate by 2, and it's 5.5, 140.5. Taking Army in the points. Presbyterian SC Upstate. My projection is Presbyterian by 2.5, and it's Upstate 1.5. Total 137.5. Taking Presbyterian plus the points, minus 102 straight up. 6:30, CBS Sports Network. St. John Xavier. My projection: Xavier by 10. 8 and 150, laying the points. Campbell Radford. My projection is Campbell 11. And it's 2.5, 122.5. I'll lay the points at Campbell. 7 o'clock, Big Ten Network. Number 12, Illinois at Rutgers. My projection is Illinois by 6. And if Rutgers is favored here, that'd be wild. Let's see here. Illinois by 4, total 133. I'm going to take Illinois and lay the points. I don't feel good about it, though. ESPN 2, Mississippi State at number 25, Alabama. My projections: Alabama 9.5. And it's 6, 150. I'm going to lay the points with Bama. Loyola, Maryland at Lafayette. My projection is Loyola by 0.5. And let's see here. 1.5, 129.5. I'm going to take the over. BU Holy Cross. My projection is BU by 13. And 7.5, 137.5. I'm laid the points. Navy and American. My projection is Navy by 9. And it is 8.5, 122.5 over. NCAT and Hampton. My projection is AT by 7. And it's 4.5, 131.5, laying the points. Winthrop Gardner-Webb. My projection is Winthrop by 5. And it's Gardner-Webb 3.5, total 136.5. Taking Winthrop plus the 3.5 and plus 155 straight up. UNC Asheville and Charleston Southern. My projection is Asheville 18. And 7.5, 137.5, laying the points. Miami Louisville. My projection is Miami by 0.5. And it's 2 and 141.5. I'll take the over. Boston College and Notre Dame on the ESPNU. My projection is Notre Dame by a whopping 18. And it's 9 and 130.5. I'm laying the 9 with Notre Dame. Vermont, New Hampshire. My projection is Vermont 6.5. And Vermont is giving 8.5, total 133.5. I'll take New Hampshire in the points. Stony Brook, UMBC. My projection is Stony Brook 2.5. And we got here UMBC 2.5, total 149.5. I'm taking Stony Brook plus 2.5 and plus 116 straight up. UMass Lowell NJIT. My projection is Lowell by 2.5. And it's 3 and 131. I'll take the over. Maine Hartford, my projection is Hartford 11.5. And it's 10.5, 133.5, another over. Albany Binghamton, I have a pick, and it is. Ooh, this is an interesting one. 1.5, 128.5. I'll take the over. Jacksonville Stetson, my projection is Jacksonville by 0.5. And it's 1.5, 125.5. I'll take the over. Kennesaw State, Florida Gulf Coast. My projection is Gulf Coast 13.25. And we got 3.5, 146.5. I'll lay the points. UMass St. Bonaventure. My projection is Bonaventure 19.5. And it's 11.5, 147.5. I'll lay the points. George Mason, St. Joe's. My projection is George Mason by 2. And it's 2 and 140. I'll take the over. Furman in Western Carolina. My projection is Furman by a whopping 15. And it's 13.5, 144.5. I'll take the over. East Tennessee State and Mercer. My projection is Mercer 2.25. And we got East Tennessee State, Mercer. Mercer by 3, total 141. I'll take the over. Wofford and the Citadel. My projection is Wofford 3.25. And it's 5.5, 145.5. I'm taking the Citadel in the 5.5. SEC Network, Georgia, LSU. My projection is LSU by 23. 15.5, 144.5. I'm laying the points. 7:30, George Washington, Duquesne. My projection is Duquesne 1.5. And it's 3.5, 136.5. I've been taking George Washington plus a 3.5. Chicago State and Stephen F. Austin. My projection is 28.5, Stephen F. Austin. It's 19 and 136.5. I'm laying the points. North Alabama, Eastern Kentucky. My projection is Eastern Kentucky by 11.5, and it's 5.5, 144.5. I'm laying the points. 8 o'clock, LaSalle, St. Louis. My projection is St. Louis 26.5, and it's 14 and 141. I'll lay the points. Fox Sports 2, Georgetown, Marquette. My projection is Marquette by 11. And I don't see this game on FanDuel, which is weird. Let's see here. Marquette is giving 12.5, total 151. I'll take the over. Utah Valley and Tarleton. My projection is Utah Valley by 10. And it's 1.5, 128.5. I'll lay the points. Seattle and Texas Rio Grande Valley. My projection is Seattle 13.5. And it's 7.5, 152.5. I'll lay the points. Pitt UNC on ACC Network. My projection is UNC by 22.5. And it is 13.5, 141.5. I'll lay the points. Jacksonville State and Lipscomb. My projection is Jacksonville State by 5. And it's 4.5, 146.5. I'll take I'm going to go with the over. I don't feel good about it. Bellarmine, Central Arkansas. My projection is Bellarmine by 11. And it's 5.5, 149.5. I'll lay the points. Loyola Chicago Valpo. My projection's Loyola by 17.25. And it's 9.5, 130. I lay the points. Evansville Drake. My projection is Drake by a whopping 21.75. And it's 15.5, 127. I lay the points. 8:30 CBS Sports Network. Seton Hall, number 24 UConn. My projection is UConn by 7.25, and it's 5.5 and 137.5. I'm going to take the over. 9 o'clock ICC Network. Vandy, number 2 Auburn. My projection is Auburn by 19.5, and it's 13.5, 143. I laid the points. Number 5 Purdue at Northwestern. Big Ten Network. My projection is Purdue 14.5. And it's 6, 145.5. I lay the points. Number 7, Baylor at Texas Tech on ESPN2. My projection is Baylor by 5, and it's Texas Tech by 2. Total 136.5. Wow. I'm taking Baylor in the 2 and plus 108. SMU Temple on ESPNU. My projection is SMU by 6.5, and it's 5, 136.5. I'm going to go with the under. I don't feel good about it. Morehead State and Tennessee Martin. My projection is Morehead by 17.5. And it's 9.5, 134.5, and I'll lay the points. Dixie State, New Mexico State. My projection is New Mexico State by 28, and it's 16.5, 143.5. I'll lay the points. 10 o'clock, Grand Canyon, Cal Baptist. My projection is Canyon by 10, and it's 3 and 136.5. I'll lay the 3. Boise Air Force, Fox Sports 1. My projection is Boise 17.25, and it's 10, 120. I'll lay the 10. 10:30 CBS Sports Network, UNLV Fresno. My projection is Fresno 7.25, and it's 6, 126. I'll take the over. And last but not least, 11 o'clock ESPN2. Number 1 Gonzaga at Pepperdine. My projection is Gonzaga by a whopping 28, and it's 29.5 and 164. I'm going to take the under. That is a very high total. And I think that Gonzaga, as good as they are offensively, I think they are really good defensively. All right, now I'm going to move on to the NBA. We will recap the games from last night and look ahead to tonight's games. Hawks over the Cavs, 126-116. Mavs over the Heat, 107-99. Celtics over the Sixers. How about this? 135-87. Bucks over the Pacers, 128-119. Timberwolves over the Hornets, 126-120 in overtime. Grizzlies over the Pelicans, 121-109. And the Suns over the Clippers, 103-96. Now I look ahead to a big window tonight, 7 o'clock. You have the Hawks and the Magic. I didn't do total, so I just did size. My projection is the Hawks by 14.75. And it is 6 and 228. I'll lay the 6. Pistons Celtics at 7:30. My projection is Boston 16.5, and it's 12.5, 126.5. Or 216.5, my bad. I'm going to lay the points with Boston. Wizards Pacers, my projection's Indiana by 7.5, and it's 1 and 225. I'm laying the 1 with Indiana. I love that pick. 7:30 ESPN Nets Knicks from the Garden. This is so unwatchable compared to what we thought before the year. No more big three. Knicks are a mess. My projection is... Oh, wait a minute. The 7.5 projection is the Knicks. That was supposed to be the Knicks projection, not Indiana's. So I think that's this straight here. So I just had the lines written in the wrong spots. And I forgot to account for something else with the Wizards and Pacers line. My projection for the Pacers game actually is Wizards 3.5. And it's Indy by 1, total 225. So I'll change my pick to DC plus the 1 and even money straight up, even without Bradley Beal. And then Nets Knicks, my projection is Knicks 7.5, and it's 3.5, 216.5. I hate this pick, but I'm going to play it with the Knicks. They really let this podcast down in terms of just like podcast picks, but not necessarily best bets. But I think the one time I took them with best bet, they came through. 8 o'clock, the Kings and the Bulls. My projection is the Bulls by only 1.75, and it's 5 and 232. I'm taking Sacramento in the 5. Blazers Grizzlies. My projection is Memphis by 16.25, and And we got 11.5 total, 227. I'll lay the points even without John Morant. Raptors, Timberwolves. My projection is Minnesota by 1.25 and Toronto by 1, total 230.5. Wrong teams get favored. Give me Minnesota plus the 1 and minus 102. Spurs, Thunder. My projection is the Spurs by 7.5. And it's 8 and 218. I'm going to take the under. 9 o'clock, the Rockets and the Suns. My projection is the Suns by 26.25. And it's 15.5 total, 234. I'll lay the points. 10 o'clock, Nuggets, Warriors. My projection is the Warriors by 8. And it's 5.5, 224.5. I'll lay the points. And then last but not least, the Jazz and the Lakers on ESPN. My projection is the Jazz by 2.5. And it's 6 and 226.5. I'm going to take the Lakers getting 6. Do I like the pick? No. But I have to do it. I have to. All right, now we'll move on to the NHL. We'll recap the games from last night, and we will look ahead to the games for today. Blues over the Sens 5-2, Lightning over the Devils 6-3, Flyers over the Penguins 5-4 in overtime. Sidney Crosby had his 500th goal in that game, which was awesome. And the Sabres beat the Isles 6-3. The Rangers over the Bruins 2-1. The shootout, 9-round shootout, by the way. Caps over the Preds 4-1. Flames over the Blue Jackets 6-2. Stars over the Avs 4-1. And the Oilers over the Kings 5-2. All right, 7 o'clock. You have the Wild and the Jets. The Wild are minus 140. The Jets are plus 116. Over under 6.5. Over is minus 115. Under is minus 105. Wild minus 1.5 is plus 186. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 235. I'm going Wild in regulation at plus 110. 7:30 TNT Panthers Hurricanes. Great game. Panthers are minus 102. Hurricanes are minus 118. Over under 6.5 minus 110 in Troy. Panthers plus 1.5 is minus 220. Carolina minus 1.5 is plus 176. I like the over in this game. I think it's going to be a lot of goals in this game. 9:30 Ducks Flames. Ducks plus 172. Flames minus 210. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 152. Flames minus 1.5 is plus 124. Calgary's playing good hockey right now. I like the over in this game. I think this could go over. This could be a 3-2 game, empty netter, and it goes over. And at 10 o'clock, TNT, one of the more highly anticipated games of the season. Avalanche, Golden Knights, the debut of Jack Eichel. The Avs are minus 120. Vegas is even money, over under 6.5. Overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 198. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 250. I'm going with Vegas as the home dog here. I think that Eichel's going to be motivated. The team's going to be motivated, and I think they're going to play hard and win this game. So I'm going to go with the Vegas Golden Knights as the home underdog at even money. All right, now I'm going to do news and notes for today. I'm going to try to zoom through the segment. So the Celtics, we talked about how they won by 48 points. They broke their franchise record for threes in a game with 25. And obviously their win streak is to 9. But it came costly because Marcus Smart got carried off the court after suffering an apparent lower leg injury. So the Vikings are finalizing a deal to make the Rams offensive coordinator Kevin O'Connell as their new head coach. I mentioned this previously on the show that I really like that hire for Minnesota, but they're just going to make it official after the Super Bowl is over. The fans in Cincinnati welcomed the Bengals home, even after a Super Bowl loss. They're just very proud of their team. I don't blame them. NBC says the Rams-Bengals was the most watched TV show in 5 years. 112.3 million watched the Super Bowl. Derek Carr likely to get $40 million a year. That's insane. Ryan Zimmerman retires after 16 seasons. Congratulations to him. Joe Burrow won't need knee surgery, so that's good. DK Metcalf has minor foot surgery, as he recently had a screw in his foot removed after he was bothered by injury all year last year. The Pelicans tried to pair Ja with Zion in 2019 and try to move up in the draft as they offer multiple packages in an attempt to move up. So Ben Simmons and James Harden had their press conferences yesterday. And Ben Simmons was open. He said he didn't speak to Joel Embiid. And the Nets' debut date not set yet. And James Harden, there were sources revealed that there was building tension that led to Kevin Durant to call Sean Marks on deadline day, which is wild. And then the 76ers and Harden missed the deadline to pick up his option because the paperwork did not meet the buzzer. Yikes. Bucks to sign DeAndre Bembry for the remainder of the season, so they got some depth there. So Goran Dragic is the hot free agent. All the contenders are out trying to sign him. Simone Biles is engaged as she and Texans safety Jonathan Owens announced their engagement, so congratulations to Simone Biles. There's drama over Coach K's successor. New book details how he pushed former player Tommy Amaker out in favor of John Shire. It's a book written by Ian O'Connor, who is highly regarded here in the New York metro area. So it's very interesting that he wrote this book. I'm looking forward to reading it. And some sports news. Alec Baldwin was sued by the family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins, who was killed on the film set. Jill Biden in New York City this week to tape Sesame Street. So Bill de Blasio comes out and says that he's not running for Congress. CNN executive Allison Gallus resigns 2 weeks after Jeff Zucker romance revealed. And this is the big one. Bob Saget's family sues Florida officials to block release of medical records. So this Bob Saget thing is really becoming a big deal in terms of the cause of his death. So I don't blame the family for wanting the privacy, but this is such a big deal because it's Bob Saget. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I apologize, guys, just for going through news and notes. There's not to go in detail on everything because I just have a lot going on. I have a pick for best bet, and I'm going to lay 9 points with Notre Dame against Boston College at home. Notre Dame's been really good. I won with best bet yesterday, so I'm 2-0 on the week with yesterday with the... Or no, I'm sorry, I did not win the under for Indy Milwaukee, the under 234. That was not a winner yesterday. That's my bad. I just got a refund back from a Super Bowl bet that lost. It was the missed extra point. They refunded people who bet that because they botched the missed extra point to try to go for 2 in the Super Bowl. So that's my bad. I thought I won best bet, but oops. So yeah, I'm gonna lay a quarter unit on Notre Dame. Minus the 9 at home against Boston College is my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, looking ahead to tomorrow. Maybe I'll do NFL Power Rankings tomorrow as we head into the offseason. We'll see. And then maybe next week at some point we'll do off-season predictions as well. So I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.